Story Chapter 12 Family Tree of the Greek Gods. The Olympe world and the 12 supreme gods. In ancient times, when heaven and earth were formed, the first gods to rule over the divine and Greek world were the 12 male and female Titans and Titanides. Titan Kronos, after stealing the throne of his father Ouranos, became the leading god of the Titan world. People often call the age of the Titans ruling the sky and the earth the Age of the Old Gods, also known as the Age of Kronos or the Golden Age. Zeus overthrew Kronos, opening a new age, the Age of Young Gods, New Gods, the Age of the 12 gods of the Olympe world. In fact, the world of Olympe does not only invite 2 gods but has many gods and goddesses. But above all, the numerous divine worlds are 12 supreme gods and goddesses, of which the number 1 god, the supreme of the supreme, is the thundering god Zeus, the father of gods and humans. The towering Mount Olympe, covered in clouds all 4 seasons, is the eternal residence of the divine world. The gods lived in a splendid palace made of bright red bronze and brilliant gold, built by the skillful hands of the famous blacksmith god Hephaestos, Roman mythology, Vulcane, the crippled son of Zeus. The path to the palace is not easy because the Olympe palace is hidden behind dense clouds, making it difficult to see and find your way around. The gods, regardless of whether they are male or female, from the lower world or from heaven, must pass through the residence of 3 fairies, sometimes 4 fairies, with a common name, Her's time, or also known as the 4 seasons. Let them open the cloud door to let them go, meaning they lifted up dense clouds to surround and cover the Olympe palace. Although the Olympe palace is covered with clouds all 4 seasons, inside it is a unique and wonderful place to live. There is no wind, rain, humidity, or cold snow. A bright blue sky canopy like a canopy covers the palace. The sunlight here is soft and gentle, unable to tan the skin, burn the flesh, or darken the majestic, beautiful faces of the gods. The gods live in a pure place. The rain does not reach their faces, the sun does not reach their heads, the air is clear. They meet every day to discuss governing and run the world or party and have fun in jubilant dance scenes. The music is melodious. The administration of the world was divided immediately after the Olympians defeated the older generation of gods. Zeus, Poseidon and Hades, the 3 sons of Kronos, drew lots to share the work of governing the universe and the world. Zeus rules the sky, Poseidon rules the seas, and Hades rules the underground world of the dead. The earth and humanity are under common governance. However, because Zeus is the supreme god, Zeus governs both the divine world and the human world. The Olympe palace belongs to the divine world. Zeus is the supreme god with great authority and power that no one can match. God rules the sky, so he can call the wind, call for rain, gather clouds, cause storms, send thunderous thunder, and release dazzling lightning. Zeus once boasted of his invincible strength. Zeus could throw the gods into the dark Tartar, deep in the world where Hades ruled, without a single god being able to rise up. Zeus, to prove his superior strength, challenged the whole world to Olympe to a tug-of-war. Tug-of-war with a golden rope. One end is Zeus at Mount Olympe, and the other end is the gods and goddesses on the ground. Of course, the gods did not dare to accept this challenge, because if it was true as Zeus said, it would be extremely dangerous. Zeus could drag the gods into the sky and drag the land and sea with them. Up again. Zeus could have let the gods cling to that golden rope, but as for Zeus and number 39's rope, Zeus would tie it to a rock at Mount Olympus, and thus the gods would be suspended in the sky. After the three brothers Zeus divided the world, another big thing that Zeus had to worry about was making sure that the number of gods in the world of Olympus must first be equal to the number of previous titans and titanids, and then there must increase even more, because the work of governing the world and humanity is becoming more and more busy. Zeus and number 39's brothers had only 3 boys and 3 girls. So there are only 6. Zeus and Hera, Zeus and number 39's wife, had to give birth to children so that they could each share a job in governing the divine and human worlds. Of course, in the end all the work was arranged. Olympus Palace has 12 male and female gods, equal to the previous number of titans and titanids. The 12 Olympus gods are 1. Zeus, Jupiter, the supreme god who governs the heavenly world and mortals, the god who gathers clouds and brings thunder and lightning with a loud voice. 2. Hades, Pluton, god in charge of the underworld, has an invisibility helmet, king of hell. 3. Poseidon, Neptune, the god who governs the big and small seas, the earth-shaking god, has a trident that causes storms, god of the ocean. 4. Hera, Junon, goddess, wife of Zeus, protector of marriage and family happiness, protector of mothers and newborns. 5. Demeter, Ceres, goddess who governs the fertility of the land, oversees cultivation, crops, and especially protects the wheat crop, often called the goddess of wheat. 6. Hestia, Vesta, goddess of the hearth, of the fire in the family hearth, protector of the cozy gathering of people in the family, of civilized life. 7. Athena, Minerva, goddess of wisdom and war, justice and craftsmanship, art, child of Zeus. 8. Aphrodite, Venus, goddess of love and beauty. 9. Apollon, son of Zeus and goddess Leto, god of light, truth, music, art, archer with a silver bow. 10. Artemis, Diane, goddess of the hunt, virgin gunner, twin brother of Apollon. 11. Hephaestos, Vulcane, god of blacksmiths, son of Zeus and Hera, god of fire and craftsmanship. 12. Ares, Mars, god of war, son of Zeus and Hera. To help the Olympus world manage worldly affairs, there are also 2 gods, a male god and a goddess, in charge of commanding and communication: Hermes, Roman mythology, Mercury, and the goddess Hermes, Roman mythology, Mercury, and the goddess Iris. In the Olympus Palace, the atmosphere is solemn and solemn. God Zeus sat on his throne with a stern expression on his face. The god and number 39's majestic posture, gestures, and open and leisurely demeanor made Zeus immediately see the power and authority of the Supreme Being, a strength and power that manifested in a natural, dignified and calm manner. Sitting next to Zeus and number 39's throne are the goddess of peace Erine and the winged goddess of victory Nike. When the beautiful goddess Hera with cow eyes and white arms entered the palace, the gods all came to welcome her and greeted her cordially and respectfully. Then everyone spread out on both sides and invited her to step onto the throne. Zeus stood up, tilted his head, walked down, smiled and greeted his wife, and reached out to take his wife and number 39's hand and lead her up to the throne. Zeus and Hera sat side by side on the throne. The goddess Iris sat beside Hera. She is ready to complete all of Hera and #39's orders unusually quickly. With gentle wings and vibrant colors, Iris can fly to places as far away as the sky, the ends of the earth, and then return without letting Hera complain about the delay. The god Hermes sat next to Zeus. The god does not have wings like the goddess Iris, but he gives orders and communicates as quickly as Iris, because Zeus gave Hermes a pair of winged sandals to carry out his duties. With these sandals, Hermes can run on clouds, surf on waves, swoop down mountains, dive into the sea, and go anywhere, including the underworld. He also shows the way to passers-by and gods, also governs trade and commerce and, worst of all, he also governs fraud, deceit, and theft. The 12 gods of Oralf, from the middle, clockwise: Zeus, Hephaestus, Athens, Apollon, Hermex, Artemis, Poseidon, Aphrodite, Erex, Dionysus, Hades, Hecate, Demetrius, Hera. The gods entered the banquet table. Laughter, singing and singing were jubilant and bustling. The Charites and the Muses, with their graceful beauty, danced to the music, sometimes gathering in a circle, sometimes spreading out into pairs, rhythmically, regularly, and harmoniously, making the god nodded in praise. Goddess Hebe, Roman mythology, Juventas, beloved daughter of Zeus and Hera, was assigned to pour wine to invite the gods. This is the Olympe world and number 39's own holy wine. Anyone who drinks it will be forever young, live happily and joyfully, never knowing old age and death. Also offering holy wine and sacred food to Hebe were the beautiful boy Ganymede, who once lived in Asia Minor, the son of King Tros, the king who built the city of Troy, and the nymph Callirhoe, daughter of the river god Scamander. God Zeus was so enamored with his beauty that he transformed himself into an eagle and swooped down to steal him and bring him back to the world of Olympe, allowing him to join the divine world. Ganymede was granted immortality by Zeus. But Hebe and Ganymede were not the only ones who specialized in offering holy wine and sacred food to the gods. Hephaestus, the broken-legged blacksmith, often supports 2 young people with 1 leg and 1 arm. Whenever Hephaestus offered wine, the banquet table became full of joy. Holding a large vase full of sweet holy wine, the god poured it sequentially to invite the gods from the right onwards. Just like that, one wine week after another. Hephaestus' leg was limping, running around, tottering and limping, making the gods unable to hold back their laughter. And so they laughed, talked, feasted, sang, and had fun until the sun set. In such fun parties, everyone is equal. No one is not allowed to attend. No one is not allowed to enjoy the holy wine and sacred foods. Everyone can hear the melodious sound of Apollo and number 39's lyre and the melodious singing of the Muses, children of their father Zeus. Nowadays, Ganymede has changed its meaning to have a joking meaning, referring to a sommelier or a waiter at parties. From the Olympe Palace, during meetings of the gods or at banquets, Zeus and the gods controlled and arranged all affairs of the human world and the divine world. The destiny of humanity, whether their lives are happy or miserable, depends on the gods, first of all Zeus. Zeus had 2 large jars placed right at the entrance to the palace. Some people say that Zeus buried underground a jar containing good things and a jar containing bad things. Zeus took good and evil things from there and gave them to mortals. Whoever Zeus mixes the two things and distributes them to him will encounter both joy and sadness, happiness and suffering in life. Whoever is unlucky enough to only receive Zeus and number 39's gift from the jar containing evil will have an extremely miserable life: hungry, thirsty, ragged, homeless, and having to wander and wander. Beggars are despised by everyone, and live without hope. For that reason, mortals must respect the gods and take care of worship and sacrifices. Co-managing the laws with Zeus is also the wise goddess Themis. It is the goddess who established law, order, stability and law in the world to govern and ensure justice. Themis and #39's profound knowledge allows her to predict and foretell many things about the future, the fate of gods and humans. Themis and #39's fairness, integrity and strict habits made the ancient Greeks admire and grateful, sculpting a statue of the goddess holding a scale in one hand, a sword in the other, and a cloth covering her eyes to show that impartiality. By order of Zeus, the goddess Themis convened meetings of the gods in the world of Olympe. Even the meetings of the people on earth were initiated, suggested, or chaired by Themis herself. To monitor the enforcement of the law, there is also the goddess Dike, Roman mythology, justice, child of Zeus and Themis. Dike is the goddess of truth, justice, truth. The goddess specializes in monitoring the implementation and supervision of laws in the human world to report to Zeus about things that change white to black, oppress, persecute honest people, defame justice, distort, and conceal truth. That and number 39's why Dike hates lies and dishonesty. According to Zeus and number 39's orders, Dike is responsible for punishing those who go crazy and rely on autocracy to disregard justice. The goddess, with her sword of justice, must pierce the hearts of those who disregard the divine law. Ancient Greeks often sculpted Dike statues with a mace in hand. But then this righteous and virtuous goddess cannot live with us mortals. The Golden Age passed, people became more and more corrupt, depraved, twisted, crazy, so blatant that Dike was powerless. The goddess, along with her close girlfriend, Pooter, flew back to heaven. From here, the goddess changed her name to Astrae, Roman mythology, Virgo, meaning and quat, star and quat, or and quat, star and quat, sphere and quat. This means that true justice from then on can only be found in the faraway sky, sparkling with stars. Although Zeus is the supreme god, more powerful than the gods in the Olympe world, Zeus is still not the omnipotent, all-powerful, all-perfect supreme being. Above Zeus there is a power and authority that decides everything that no god or mortal can reverse. That is fate. This fate is governed by the three goddess Moiræ's sisters. Clotho spun the thread for the goddess Lachesis to examine and Atropos took the scissors to cut. The fate of gods and mortals lies in the thread, the assessment and that harsh pull. But there are times when fate is not in the thread of the three sisters of the goddess Moiræ's, but in the scales of Zeus. Zeus holds the scale and weighs the piece of copper whose destiny is. If either side of the scale tilts heavily to one side, it cannot be saved. that person, and number 39's destiny is towards the earth, that person must die. As mentioned above, the three Moirae sisters are the children of the night god Nyx, but there is a legend that the three Moirae sisters are the children of the goddess Themis. And the Hers time goddesses are also children of the goddess Themis. Although Zeus can give happiness to us mortals with gifts taken from the jar of good things, happiness in the lives of us short-lived mortals also comes from the grace of the goddess Tyche, Roman mythology, Fortuna, too. She is the goddess of fortune and the coincidences of fate. Some say she is the child of Okeanos and Tethys, others say she is the child of Zeus. Goddess Tyche holds in her hand the horn of prosperity. She poured fragrant flowers, ripe fruits, grain-filled rice, fruit-bearing branches and vegetables, beans, corn, wheat, millet. Stored in horns into the world. Luckily for those who receive these gifts of divine grace, their business life will be free from difficulties and discomfort. The weather will be favorable to their crops, they will reap whatever they plant and, in short, they will have a lot of luck in life, if not luck for life. Ancient times imagined the goddess Tyche as a young woman standing on a ball or a wheel, holding the rudder of a boat in one hand and the other holding the horn of prosperity, her eyes covered with a cloth bandage. How thoughtful it is! That and number 39's why we Vietnamese people have a saying that heaven has no eyes. That and number 39's right, if there were eyes, there would be no such thing as luck or coincidence. And in life, as we know, besides the so-called necessity, there cannot be without the so-called randomness, something beyond human calculation, beyond what humans and have eyes for and Therefore, next to the goddess Themis, symbolizing the law, there must be a place for Tyche. In paintings of the goddess Tyche, we sometimes see that in addition to the above-mentioned characteristics, Tyche is also depicted not holding the horn of prosperity but holding it downward so that the benefits fall to the ceiling. Goddess Tiki Zeus and number 39's power is so great, but Zeus often has to be inferior to the power of a goddess, not the goddess Hera, Zeus and number 39's wife, whose personality is of the type and how brave in the past, how brave in this life. And which is the goddess Confusion Ate. Zeus made many mistakes and until one time, he was so angry at the goddess and number 39's majesty that he immediately threw that obnoxious daughter down to earth and banned her from returning to heaven. Ate is the child of Zeus and the goddess Discord Ares. The gods in the Olympe world are terrified of Zeus and number 39's power and strength, especially when Zeus is angry. The son of Kronos just frowned and waved his hand, then dark clouds came, thunder, lightning and lightning exploded tearing the sky, fire burned brightly, smoke burned. Every time Zeus returned to the palace from somewhere, the gods had to respectfully greet his father. No one dared to leave to do other things or stand still and wait for Zeus to arrive before respectfully greeting him. Zeus and number 39's temper is as hot as fire. Whenever Zeus gets angry, no one dares to stop him because that only makes Zeus more angry. The gods had witnessed many of Zeus and number 39's angers and had an example. The god Hephaestus, because of his goodwill to dissuade Zeus and number 39's anger, had to be handicapped for life. Zeus sat on His throne, holding a golden scepter created by the skillful hands of the blacksmith god Hephaestus. An eagle, Zeus and number 39's most beloved bird, perched beside him. Next to Zeus, or at Zeus and number 39's feet, there is a shield made of goat skin that is countless times thick, several layers, covered with a layer of reptile scales as hard as bronze or iron. Along the rim of the shield are serpentine poisonous snakes that look very terrifying. Zeus chose the oak tree to be his spokesman, conveying warnings and predictions about the future and how to behave to weak, short-lived mortals. Every year mortals come to Dodon, the land of oak forests, to listen to the rustling of leaves to predict the oracles and announcements of Zeus. But not all mortals know the art of listening to the sound of leaves. Only prophets and those who specialize in the priesthood can contact that mysterious, sacred language and explain it to everyone. Sometimes Zeus shows his will and his words through the flight of birds. And of course, only prophets and priests have the talent to look at the flight of birds and guess what the gods want to say. The daily life of the world of Olympe and of his father Zeus is like that. But not only that. The Olympe palace has so many gods, 12 supreme gods and countless lower gods who share the management of the affairs of the human world. Therefore, many troublesome things happened between humans and the gods. Also between gods. There are as many messy, complicated, and annoying things as our human world, maybe even more. A lot more. Therefore, the Olympe palace under the rule of Zeus seemed very peaceful, but in fact there were quite heated and stormy meetings, even lasting up to 9 days, with very deep disagreements. God Zeus often had to handle lawsuits and complaints between the gods that were extremely messy and headache-inducing. The gods are always going back and forth, so Olympe Palace, although covered in clouds all 4 seasons, seems unusually busy. Olympe and #39's world controlling the world is not an easy job. Family of Zeus. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.